There are 3 important questions. Do you want to be whole? Will you stand still long enough to understand what it means to say, I see you, the whole you? And will you help create more wholeness moments? Hopefully your answer to all of these is yes, absolutely. But at the end of the day, what does it mean? What does it mean to feel whole? I'm going to tell 4 short stories to help answer this. A 25-year-old man was hospitalized with AIDS. It was a relatively unknown disease at the time, and his family couldn't cope. He was gay, and he was dying of AIDS. So they decided not to visit at all. I was his nurse at the time, and once when he was half conscious, he wondered whether he was dead. No, I smiled. You are very much alive. But are you afraid of dying? No, he responded, I know I belong to God. I just can't figure out who I belong to here. When he died, his family gave us a ficus tree with 3 intertwining branches. He wanted you and the healthcare team to have this, they said. He said it was about finding a place to belong and that you would know what that meant. Wholeness is about belonging, to know that you are loved unconditionally by God, yourself, and by others who are close to you. Second, a little 4-year-old girl was brought to the hospital early one morning. She was comatose. Apparently, she had a seizure in the middle of the night. Her mother was frantic, angry at everyone. Why weren't the physicians doing more? Where were the nurses when she needed them? Nobody could calm her down, and she was fast becoming one of those difficult family members, even threatening to leave the hospital against medical advice. The chaplain was making rounds and sat down with her. He leaned in close and he whispered, "It's not your fault." The young mother burst into tears. "It isn't?" she asked. The night before she was admitted to the hospital, her daughter came to her bed and asked her a question. "Can I sleep with you tonight?" she asked her mother. "No," her mother said. "You are old enough to sleep by yourself." When she awoke, the mother found her daughter comatose from a seizure that had happened during the night. And now this mother was falling apart under a load of guilt. She thought it was her fault, and she could not forgive herself until she heard the voice of the chaplain say, "It is not your fault." Wholeness is about wellness, not only of the body, but also of the mind and the spirit. It's about a deep sense of healing. In the third story, an 8-year-old girl was on the pediatric oncology unit of the hospital, being treated for cancer. Her parents and family worried that she would not respond to treatment, but she was not thinking about cancer. She was inspired by a dream of becoming like her physician, of growing up to be a pediatric oncologist. Over time, she went into remission. Then she went into medicine, and then she took a specialty. She now works as a pediatric oncologist, and this is the story that she tells when anyone asks her why she went into medicine. Wholeness is about fulfillment and the various ways we grow our own characters and aspirations, as well as how we inspire others. In the fourth story, there is a physician who wears jeans with boots, but not just any boots, beautifully engraved cowboy boots. For weeks, he took care of a particular child who had experienced near drowning by falling into a swimming pool in the time it took his mother to answer the phone to simply say that she couldn't talk. Nothing this physician could do was able to save this child's life. And so family and friends, staff, all gathered at the outdoor memorial service. The parents stood close to the casket as the priest prayed loudly over the crowd that had gathered. But one person arrived late, and those nearby opened their eyes briefly to look down and see boots, beautifully engraved cowboy boots. They wondered, how is this physician able to face this kind of failure? The prayer ended, and suddenly the priest and father scanned the crowd, eyes landing on this physician in the back. "Please come forward and join us," they requested. "We can't move forward without you," Priest, parents, physician, family, and friends moved forward together as their story took this turn. This is the real reason he went into medicine, not just to treat others, but to live out their stories with them, to give back and care for others in the way they needed, not just in the way he wanted. So wholeness is about purpose and living our lives in stewardship and caring for the community around us, living their journeys with them. There is actually a fifth story, but only you can tell it, and that's your story. What makes you feel whole? When did you last feel a deep sense of belonging and wellness, fulfillment, and purpose? When did you last care for others in this way? Can you imagine it? Feeling whole, belonging, feeling well in body, mind, and spirit, feeling fulfilled, having a deep sense of purpose? Can you imagine helping others feel whole? I think I know the answer. Yes, absolutely